Not everything in your business should be automated, but the things that can be, should be. So, how do you figure that out? Where do you start? Well, today on the show, we'll find out exactly how to start. What are the low hanging fruit things that we can implement to help save you hours and dollars every week? Welcome back to Automate to Elevate. Just a quick recap. Last episode, we talked about building automation strategies and some of the top automated products and services within the industries that are being automated. So today's focus will be focusing in on how to identify what exactly is worth automating within your business. There's a 3-step process that any company can do just to do a quick evaluation on what are some of the opportunities that are available. So step 1, we're looking at auditing your daily tasks. These are things like maybe tracking your business tasks for a 3 to 5 day period, writing down everything that's repetitive that you do often, and reoccurring activities to help shorten up and make things more efficient. So we're looking at categories like administrative work, marketing, sales, customer support, and other operations. Just something to ask yourself. What do I do every day, every week, every month? That's taking up a lot of my time. And also think about maybe what are some tasks that drain my time and most importantly, your energy. Because as a business owner, we only have so many hours of the day, and you burning every hour focusing in on something that can be automated for you, things like emails, things like any sort of updates on social media posts. It's just not only burning your time, but burning your energy because it takes effort to put those things together. So how are we going to make things more efficient? As an example, for one of our clients, if you were to, like, let's say we had this one client that was having some trouble with the email system, having to reach out after getting the leads, because with Conversio, we set up where the lead generation got all the contact information. It's capturing both the emails and the phones to be able to reach back out to the clients that had particular requests. So we were able to set up an automated email system. So now that we've captured the lead, we know exactly what they're looking for. We can start sending those warm contacts out, some feelers just on follow up on information. So within the leads, you can, let's take real estate for an example. If someone's looking for a house in a particular area, we can set up an automated welcome from you, formally reaching out to the client just to kind of gauge on what their interest is in the housing market. And then that right there can start your conversation, but that gives you that warm context. So now you can follow up, you know exactly what they're looking for based on the lead, and then automate the response for the email just to get the conversation going. Step 2 would be calculating cost, time, savings. So this is assigning time per task and the cost of doing it manually based on your hourly rate or if you pay anyone for your staffing time. So here's a simple formula you can use. Time times frequency equals cost. So what do we want to prioritize? So we're looking at high frequency and low judgment tasks, anything that's repeatable. Tasks that are prone to human error. So anything like, let's say bookkeeping is one big thing. If you can automate that where you're not having to manually enter the numbers, but once you make that purchase, it's going to automate over into the software, things like QuickBooks for your purchases. That'll make things, if you're paying your quarterly, annual, or semi-annual taxes, that's taking that manual step out so there's no human error. Also things like tasks that'll bottleneck really. So if you're working on a specific project and have a new strategy you're trying to implement, and then you get a random DM, and you're now going to have to switch your whole focus to answer that DM because you want to make sure you're there for your customer. That's something that can be through AI automation. We can set it up where your DMs automatically are answered, and then we've got the response. So they're able to answer any general questions, and if they really need you, it'll divert the customer to contact you directly, or it'll give you the alert to follow up with them just so you can be as attentive to the client as you can be. So as a mini example, if you spend 4 hours each month scheduling social media, and then also setting up tools like, let's say Metro Cool could do something for you that's going to take maybe about 30 minutes, but that's going to save you that 4 hours of having to schedule all your social media posts It'll take 30 minutes where you can pre-schedule for the month and then also roll everything out for you as it's pre-scheduled to drop on your social media posts. So you're keeping your engagement up, you're keeping your contact with your customers, you're staying relevant is the biggest thing. But instead of having to do a 4-hour scheduling block, you set it up for 30 minutes, it'll automatically start posting on social media for you. Now let's roll along to step 3. So decide the threes framework. The threes framework is really what AI automation is all about. So it's simplifying, scale, and stress. So ask yourself, is this task repeatable? And is it rule-based? That's the simplicity. And for scale, will automating it help me serve more people or handle more volume? And stress, does this task drain me or slow me down? So there are 3 steps here are the simplicity, the scale, and the stress. 3 things to consider as part of the framework. If a task checks 2 out of 3, it's a good automation candidate. So things like email response, simplicity, scale, stress. So it's simplifying it. That's a check. It's scalable because once they're automated, the system and the AI can automatically reach out to the client for you. That's another check. Is it stressful? As we all know, if you just in any work environment, having to follow up with an email and then having to wait for a response and then everything wasn't there that you needed, so now you're following up with another email, it can cause stress. There we go. So we have 3 out of the framework. That's check, check, check for most people. That's a good sign you probably want to automate that task. So here's a couple of real life task examples that you can automate. So quick fire examples just off the top of my head. Lead follow-up, as we talked about with Conversio CX, we can set up on your website or on your platform, such as social media, a lead capture. So that's going to be able to grab the customer's email and then also the phone contact. If it's on your website, just so you can follow up as a warm contact, you know exactly what they're looking for. You have their contact information. They know you're going to be reaching out to them just to get further information to help with the whatever the inquiry is. And then on the social media side, things like AI put into your DM. So now you're having the automated response. You're not leaving anybody on either red or cold. You're contacting them as soon as they do into your messaging. They're following right up, making sure that they know that you're paying attention and want to get to them because their time, just like yours, is also important. So we're getting to them as soon as we can. We also can set up things like appointment scheduling. So a lot of times when you've got that contact, now you want to convert that to a sale. So as long as your contact is remaining warm, they're interested, they're interested, they know you're going to be reaching out to them. Next step is probably going to be scheduling a follow-up meeting just so you can nail out any details and then also answer any additional questions. So that's something that can be automated as well. Customer frequently asked questions. So here's where a chatbot is really useful. So if there's anything that's a repetitive question, what's your pricing? How does your software get set up? Anything like what are your store hours? Where's my package? Things like that can all be answered by a chatbot, saving your time and then most importantly money, because now you got that lead generation contact. And then with that AI chatbot, you're never going to be able to close up shop per se, because now you got a 24/7 client answering employee essentially that's going to be able to handle a lot of the heavy lifting for you and your client. Social media content scheduling. This can be done very easily with things like Metro, Cool, and Buffer, where you can schedule out for the month what you want your social media posts to be. Even ChatGPT, if you just ask it, what should my for let's say the restaurant industry, what should my content be for a 30-day period, it can schedule everything out for you. And then you can either implement or you can use one of those other tools to set it up for you. So you're just feeding it what you want to send out, and then it'll handle getting that all scheduled for you for your social media. Things like, let's say, invoice creation. So that could be HoneyBook. I think QuickBooks has that option as well. So that's removing the manual error, because now it's going to be automated. As soon as your order comes in, it's able to resend out the invoice and handle that for you just to make sure your money, because that's what we're all working to achieve, is the actual income, making sure that your numbers are all right so your books are set. Also, sales alerts, so things like Zapier. So we work a lot with Zapier when it comes to tracking any sort of packages or orders. And then also notifications, so set notifications of sales, and then also with the processing, if there's anybody that gets stuck in process, that's something that you'll get an alert on too. So that's available with our service for Conversio CX with the AI automation. Just some key takeaways. So start small. Automate one thing that annoys you at a time, then just watch how it frees up time and, most importantly, energy, so you can focus on things like growing your business. If you got any new projects you want to start that's really going to help growth, networking opportunities with other businesses, now you've freed yourself up for some ability to sit down, plan, and really look at what the next step would be for growth. So just to reinforce, you don't need to automate everything, just automate the right things. Start with repetitive tasks and things that really drain your time throughout the day. The friction you remove is going to create more space for freedom, and which ultimately will make you more money because now you're growing. You've got nothing but time to plan, strategize, and network to move forward. And I just wanted to say thanks again for listening to another episode. We're going to allow some automated auditing worksheets to be released onto social media this week. So share this episode with fellow business owners who may be overwhelmed by repetitive tasks or just trying to free up some time and energy throughout the week, just so they're really going to be invigorated when they're reaching that client. Now it's not a, oh boy, what do I do now? It's a, okay, I have my steps. I've got my template and my framework on how to really get this efficiently done to get the income flowing back into the business. Next week, we'll dive into how to build an automation first strategy that supports growth from day one. And if you have any other questions, we're available on social media, Conversio CX, on Instagram, Facebook, and then also on YouTube as well, where you can catch all these episodes. If you have any direct questions, we do have an email. It's conversiocx@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening.